Okay, good. Hands front as much as possible. Jesus, I love it. There is an exercise that I have learned thanks to a teacher. The name of the teacher is Christian. The only person who knows him is Mauro, but she's not here. It helps your blood to circulate in a better way. How's the? I'm going to try to do it for. I don't know how, but I'm going to. It's really simple. You have to stand up like this. I mean, you need to put your hands in front of a wall like this. Okay. After that, you need to give me a second. You need to stand like this, right? Like this, and you need to go down and go up. You need to go down, go up. Let's do it.
Ay, Dios.
Jesus. Trust me, it helps a lot. That's something you should do during this quarantine time, at least once a day. At least once a day. Hello, Mariana is like a mother.
¿Qué
How are you taking the sports class? I think you should be doing something like this. Your teacher must be like instructing you to do some exercises. Um, Once again, it helps your circulation and your blood to go like faster. Uh, oof, it's a relief. Mariana, you can say it now.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Time to continue. Time to continue. All right. Let's say that was the break. The break. Okay. Now some questions about Finland. Okay. We need or you need to tell me if the statements or the sentences that are here are true, false, or if the information is not given or provided. We don't know, okay? And once again, you can use the annotate tool if you're using a computer. You will see that there is an option that's called a stamp, okay? Stamp. It gives you a tick. I'm going to use it here. A tick. It gives you the option to use this one, like an X crossed out, and the question mark. Okay. If it's true, let's try to use the tick. If it's false, let's try to use this one. And if we don't know, let's try to use the question mark. Okay. I'm going to clear all drawings. And it's time for you to read. In Finland, parents can pay for the children's school education. Good, good. Nice. School lunches are free. Teachers can earn a lot of money. In Chingay, many students want to go to university. Teachers must have a master's degree. Students can do PE. PE, remember, Jesus, physical exercise for more than 1 hour a day. Okay, try to use the annotate tool. Is somebody cooking?
Yes, yes, my mom, my mom.
Okay, dear, not a problem. Do you have a sister?
Who?
You?
No.
No, you sure?
Yes.
I heard the sound of like a baby or a little kid.
No, mi mamá bostezó.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't know that. I'm really sorry. Trust me, I thought it was a baby. Okay, it seems that all of the statements are now answered. So parents can pay for their children's education. And schools education, no, they don't have. In Finland, they don't have. Everything is for free. Okay, good. 2, school lunches are, yep, I have just said the answer. School lunches are free. And teachers can earn a lot of money. Like a lot, no. But it is a well-paid profession. Good. In Chengay, many students want to go to university. Are you sure? That's true? Yes. Where can I find that? I'm going to, give me a second. I'm using stamps all over the picture. Where can I find that? Sorry.
In the third graph.
Okay, the university, 1, 2, 3. Students are
They know there is a strong competition for university places. No? It's
okay. Let me go back. Okay. Many students want to go to university, but not all of them have the opportunity to go there because, well, once again, they take really hard exams and they need to be well prepared. Teachers must have a master's degree. The first answer was correct. We don't know. The information is not provided. Okay, so the question mark is okay. And number 6, students can do physical exercise for more than an hour a day. True, false, not given? What do you think?
True.
True, students can do physical exercise for more. Where can I find if this is true, false, or if the information is not given?
In
the last paragraph.
The last paragraph?
The last paragraph.
Yes.
Okay, the government has passed some laws to protect the students' mental and physical health. All exhibits must close at 10 p.m. Teachers can give more than an hour and a half of homework a day, and students must do physical activity for at least an hour a day. So, is it? Sorry, dear, you were trying to. Mariana, I'm going to mute you for a second. Okay. So students can do more than 1 hour a day of physical exercise. Incorrect? True? What do you think? Because let's read again. Sorry, Priscilla was trying to underline the answer. I think must do physical activity for at least an hour a day. So let me go backwards. Let me drag this to the exercise. True, false. Try to use the reaction. Remember the thumbs up and the applause stuff. Thumbs up if you think it's true, and the applause one if you think it's false.
False.
Okay. Mariana said it was false. What about the rest of you? What do you think? Diana, the 2 Dianas, Mabel, the 2 Mabels. I also have 2 Mabels. True, false. It's false. Okay, good. Okay, I think the words that gives us the answer are at least. Okay, at least. Okay, this is what pretty much like tells me that this sentence is false. All right, the minimum amount of physical exercise, the minimum, the requirement is an hour. It means that they need to do more. They need to do more. Good. Ladies, you are so intelligent. Jesus, sometimes I'm like surprised. Okay, the last part of today's class, read the rules in the grammar box. Then underline more examples of must, have to, mustn't, can, and don't have to in the article and match them to the rules. The first thing we are going to do is to take a look at this. So obligation, necessity, and permission, must, have to, and can. In this case, I'm going to solve Mayra's question. Pay attention, please. One, we use must or have to talk about the things that are necessary. All teachers must have a master's degree, okay? We use don't have to talk about things that are, or that are not, sorry, I used the contraction, that are not necessary. Children don't have to go to school until they are 7. 3, we use can to say it is okay to do something, that it is allowed. Students can call teachers by their first name. And number 4, we use can't or mustn't when we mean don't do this. Teachers can't give more than half an hour's homework a day. Okay, so it's here when I need to talk about the use of must, have to, and can. Okay, I'm going to use the text option. Okay, so must, can, sorry, must, have to, and can. Okay, I don't know if you can see it. So we use must when it's a duty. If you don't know the word, try to use an online dictionary to discover what it is. Duty, all right? Obligation. When we use must, we talked about, let's talk about percentages. We talked about 100, okay? Okay. When we use have to, we talked about high necessity. Pay attention, a high necessity, we can also say it's an obligation, but let's say that the differences or the difference in terms of percentages between have to and must are minimum. 90% here, okay? And what about can? What about can? What do you think about can? People commonly use can or can't to say that you can or can do something. Most people, and let me tell you, this is especially in native speakers, like or countries where English is spoken, most people tend to use can't for permission. Okay, they also use may, but in terms, pay attention, in terms of language evolution, can is more common. They tend to use it more. It is, I don't know why, but maybe it's sort of a cultural aspect. So let's say that can, give me a second, can is commonly used for permission, and to say if you can't or can't do something. Okay, I'm going to leave it here, and I'm going to permission to the time. Okay, good. That's pretty much all I need to say. I don't want to give you like thousands of hundreds of articles to read about this rule. Okay, I think the easier it is for you to understand it, the better. So once again, when somebody tells you, or when you say it, when you use must, it means that action needs to be done, okay? It needs to be done. It's an obligation, all right? You must study for the exam. I mean, it's really necessary. It's your obligation to study before you take the exam, okay? You have to, okay? Maybe, like if I say it as a teacher, it has like the same implication of meaning that's behind the word must. But let's say you don't want to, all right? You don't want to, or you study a little bit of it, and then you rest for 2 hours, and then you study a little bit more, and you know. And can or can't, okay? For instance, you can't use, this usually happens at school, but for instance, you can't use a pencil to answer the test, okay? You need to use a pen. in order to solve the X exercise, okay? That usually happens at school. And that's like the common example we have here in order to teach you what it is, okay? Now, the big question, do you understand the differences between must, have, and can?
Yes.
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 Okay,
Yes, teacher.
okay, nice. I'm going to clear all the drawings and, Jesus, sorry. And I would like you to underline, sorry, I would like you to underline more examples of can, must, and have to in the text. Give me a second. Chun, chun, chun. Good. Now you can use the annotate tool. Try to underline if you want to underline, highlight if you want to highlight. Use the tool. Thank you, Priscilla. Thank you. That's it. Good. Blah, 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 blah. I think that's all right? Those are all the examples we can find in the text. I'm very sorry if I'm using the hard stamp. I loved it as much as I love you. Good, good. All right. Now we can like have the contextualized examples, and I think I'm going to play all drawings, and I think it's easier now for you to identify the way we have to use it. All right. I'm going to clear all drawings, especially those hearts, and I want you to read the text like real quick in order to have like a broader idea of how this works. Today's topic. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to read it before we go and do some exercises related to this.
Teacher, sorry, can you repeat, please?
Yes.
What we have to do?
All I want you to do, ladies, is to quickly read the test again to better understand the way we use today's topic, okay? Quickly, it's like,
Okay.
in Spanish, these words are like tiene, debe, y puedes. Really?
Yes. Yes, that's it. That's it. In Spanish, it's like that. Actually, when you learn Spanish, uh, it's the same way. When you are told, even though if you don't use it like that, for instance, when a person from the United States is learning Spanish, and when they are taught this topic, the topic is taught the same way. I mean, they are told that when you're like, and when you read it in a sentence, or when you are told you debe, sorry, tú debes hacer ta ta ta, it's kind of an obligation. It's the same as in Spanish, I think.
Teacher, in the first example, why is don't have to and no mustn't?
Okay, good. Remember the percentages I was talking about? Sometimes that doesn't mean that these students can't. All right. Let's say, or let's imagine that I live in Finland and my children is, I don't know, like 5 years old. Let's say he or she is 5 years old. My child, sorry, he's 5 or 6 years old, and I want him or her to go to maybe an institute, to go, or maybe I want to sign it up for something new. Okay, I can do it. Okay, that's why we have to use must. Now, sorry, we are not using must. But once again, try not to get confused. The difference between must and have to, even in Spanish, it's not that big. It's something more like about the context of the situation, and sometimes like things that are a little bit more technical, like rules or stuff like that, like in the example we've got here. So don't worry. Okay, it's time to continue. It's time to go to the grammar reference page, which is page 149. I'm going to click on this icon, which is going to, yeah, which is going to give me the opportunity to go there. Okay, so here is the second, sorry, here is the second, okay, here is the second part of today's class. These are exercises I like you to do, okay, like you to do using the annotate tool. I know you have the physical book, so before you take a look at this exercise, this one, before we complete it, I would like you to read this for a second, okay? Especially what's between brackets. For instance, we often use must when we talked about the feelings or wishes of the speaker, okay? I must thank the teacher for her help. I really want to thank the teacher, okay? He must take a holiday. I think he needs to take a holiday. We mustn't be late. It will be bad if we're late, okay? We usually use have to when we talked about a rule or an order, okay? We have to do homework every night. The teacher gives us homework. We have to play sport, and that's the rule at their school, okay? And Jesus, you're eating and I am so hungry. I'm going to eat some bread too. It's more common to use have to in questions, okay? Yeah, and this is really important. Do you have to live? Do you have to write that essay? Do you have to speak in English in an English class? Yes, you do. Do you have to do that? Do you have to do that? Okay. We don't have to when we talked about things that are not necessary. Students don't have to wear a uniform at college. At college, what's the difference between school and college? college is most likely for Americans and British people to be like really important institute. Let's say they compare college to university. The difference between college and university really is that let me compare it to our Colombian country. It's like SENA. Okay, it's like SENA and a real university, right? That's pretty much the difference between both words for you to better understand them. Okay, now the exercise. Let me zoom in. Complete the information about Montessori's schools. All right, Montessori. Do you know Montessori? The strategy and the way she used to taught classes, to teach. Sorry, classes. We used.
No.
No idea. You've never heard about? Well,
No.
you should Google her.
No.
Can, have to, don't have to, or mustn't. Okay, so please read the sentences, use the annotate tool to complete them. Go.
Teacher, es que estoy escribiendo y tú lo mueves, entonces se corre.
Sorry, the answer, I thought the answer was related to exercise number.
Teacher, es que yo estaba escribiendo.
Yeah, don't worry, dear. Don't worry. I know. Let me. Jesus, clear. Okay.
Yo estaba escribiendo y usted lo estaba corriendo, entonces por eso se corrió.
Okay, not a problem. Okay, children can learn to. Okay, good.
Okay,
you know.
esa.
Okay, you know what the word shout is? To shout. When a person shouts, let's say that person screams or says something out loud, like real hard, in a really strong way. You commonly say shout at. Why are you shouting at me? ¿Por qué me estás gritando? Why are you shouting at me? To shout at. You commonly use shout with the preposition at. 6. Children can, okay. Students must study for a minimum of 3 hours in the morning with no break. Let me use the stamp.
Don't have to.
In number
Number 4.
Number 4. The teachers, I think it's better to use mustn't, okay? Because
Okay.
part of the feelings a teacher can have. Sorry. What about number 2? They do any class tests because they learned at different speeds. Okay, number 8, children can have a timetable because...
Don't have to.
Maybe, why not? Try to complete it.
Yes.
Children can have a timetable because they choose what they do and when. Don't worry. Teachers don't have to teach all the time because the children usually learn by themselves. Well, why not? What about number 2? Number 2, I'm a little bit curious about your answer in exercise number 2. They what? I would like Diana, Mabel. That Mabel is just there. I usually say the name Mabel like 5 times a day. Priscilla, okay, they don't have to do any last tests because they are different. Okay. Let's analyze all the answers. So number 2, they don't have to do any last tests. Okay.
I think it's must.
They must.
Teacher, what is cupboards in the sentence 6?
Sorry, because cupboards are close to the cupboard. Children can ask an adult for things because the cupboards are like, I need to show you an image for you to, give me a second. Kind of. Cupboard. Okay, no meaning, I just, need the picture. Can you see what I am? Yes, no?
No, no,
Give me a
I
second.
don't see nothing.
Okay. Jesus, how can I? The screen. Okay. Now I think you can see everything. Okay, this is a cupboard. I can scroll down. Am I? Yeah, okay. Okay. I think you can see everything I'm doing. Yes. Can you see your faces there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I see.
Okay, good. So, Jesus, all of the answers were erased, but I cannot remember them. So they don't have to do, and Maida says mustn't, okay? So they don't have to do, or they mustn't do any class tests because they learn at different speeds. The context of the sentence is more likely to be about like a rule rather than an option they have. So I think the appropriate answer is don't have to. Okay, don't have to do any class tests because they learn at different speeds. And it's true. Sometimes I had them a lot, especially in the university. The pop-up quizzes, that's how they're called. The surprise quizzes, the teacher says, hey, and like tear off like a piece of paper from your notebook, try to answer these questions at the end of the test or a class, and like, oh Jesus. Children can, okay, that's what Priscilla said. Children can learn to read or do, sorry, bless me. Children can learn to read.
Alcohol.
The coronavirus is there? No, it is not. Or do maths when they're ready, not at certain age. I think here it's must, okay? Must, okay? Children must learn to read or do maths when they're ready, not at a certain age. It's not like an obligation for...
Teacher, but in the instructions don't say must.
What do you mean with must is not there? Sure. Yeah, it's...
No. Yes, can, have to, don't have to, or mustn't.
In that case, I'll have to do then. I have to say then. It needs to be have to. Okay. Number 4. Yes. Yeah. Number 4. I think the answer was mustn't. If I'm not pretty sure. And mustn't needs to be the answer. Okay. The teach. And I was talking about, yeah, I remember it was mustn't. And number 5. Teachers, blah blah blah, teach all the time because the children usually learn by themselves. I remember it was Valentina's answer. Don't have to. Okay, don't have to teach all the time because the children usually learn by themselves. Okay, good. Number 6, children can. I remember the answer was can, and it was right. Can ask for an adult for things because the cupboards are close to the floor. Okay. And number 7. Sorry, can you listen to me? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. The students, blah, 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 study.
Finish class, teacher.
Must.
Must.
I don't have to.
Yeah.
I think that is must.
It's
But remember, we don't have. But remember, we don't have the option. So have to. Have to. Okay. And last one, children have to. Sorry, have a timetable. Can have. Okay, somebody said. I think. Who was it? I think it was Jesus, Priscilla. Good. Can have a timetable. You know what a timetable is? It's like. I don't know how to explain. Okay, give me a second. I'm going to show you. A timetable is something like this. No. Where is the calendar? Okay, the timetable is something like this. Okay, so the for instance, at school, children are given a timetable like this with hours and